We just thank you for making time for us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Just go ahead and state your whole name, maybe tell us your children's names, or just tell us a little bit about you and your kids and what club they go to.
Okay, well, I'm Holly Monroe, and my kiddos are at the BGC on Wayne Street here in Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
They range from 12, I have 5 kids, from 12 to 4, so my 4 older ones are at BGC, 6th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, and 1st grade. And then next year, my kindergarten student will be there too. And so I'm a single mom full-time. I work full-time, and so when I'm at work, my kiddos are at BGC for after-school care, and that's an environment where they can, it's a safe environment where they can get their homework done, they can get support or help or tutoring on homework, things that I need to be able to do for them that are very hard to do at home in between dinner time and bedtime, you know, in the evening, since I work till 5. So
I mean, Holly, you and I talked already and said, I've been a single parent for a long time and wore both hats, similar to your story. And to raise children, to work, to be able to, or to know that an environment enables you to walk through the door at the end of the day and the kids say, homework's done.
Yes.
I had a snack. You're buying us time, right? To get home and potentially make dinner, breathe.
Yeah, and just spend more time just being with the kids instead of, it's like our to-do list is long, right?
Yes.
Like as a single parent, it's like dinner, cleanup, chores, baths, teeth, bedtime routines, the to-do list is long, but if BGC can help minimize that to-do list in the evenings, and that opens up time for me to just spend connecting with my kids without one more thing to do, and instead just sit on the couch with them and just ask them about their day or things like that. So it helps tremendously. It is a huge help.
You said your kids at one point were homeschooled, which again, my hat goes off to you. I have no hat on, but let's pretend. For you to have invested in their education, and you were the teacher on top of being a parent and all the other roles that you fill. And then you transitioned out of the house to go to work and with 5 kids. So what was that like to transition from the homeschooling environment and then placing your kids in an after-school program?
Yeah, I mean, the transition itself it's a lot to manage. There was a lot of other transitions on top of that were going on at that time that were very difficult to navigate. Going from a 2-parent household to a single-parent household, entering the workforce after being a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. Homeschooling my children to helping them to adjust to public schools, which are a totally different environment. And so having that community support that BGC has provided my kids has been essential.
Right.
I mean, it has been an anchor for us. It has helped them make that giant social change from homeschool to public school easier. It's helped smooth it out. And then also, too, just with the other changes in our family, the staff members at BGC have come alongside them and loved on them like aunties, they really have.
Yes.
And I love picking them up every day and saying hi to Miss Linda at the front desk, or Miss Vivian, who's she takes so much initiative to make sure my kiddos get their homework done, and that is a huge help for me.
Yes.
And Miss Linda just loves on them like they're her own, and I can tell just like when you're going as a child, when you're what you've always known is now totally different. You've gone through total upheaval, change in every area of life, There's nothing like that community of love, connection, and just emotional support and a sense of belonging to help young kids navigate those changes. And I know that my kids aren't the only ones going through changes like that. So many kids out there in Murray County, all around this country, the family household rates are what they are as far as divorce goes, but just and then there's economic challenges that married couples face. This society today is challenging. It just is. And so when these kids are just loved on and made to feel important and valued, and that their emotions matter in the middle of whatever turbulence or storms maybe home life is facing.
Yes.
It really helps them navigate those changes in a way that minimizes perhaps the impact of those bigger changes going on in their lives that maybe staff members, they don't necessarily know what the kids are going through, but just loving them and making them feel valued has long-term lasting effects on these kids, and it's essential for the community, I think, as a whole.
I think as a single parent, when I hear you say these things, often people would refer to a single parent household as a broken home. Mm-hmm. And then when we find environments, not to put words in your mouth, but I know in my experience with after school care and even having kids that have gone to a club and, experienced a one parent household, that I found extended families elsewhere. And which should be in the environments we hope and pray that the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Central Tennessee makes people feel like
absolutely.
We actually have an extended family. We have a bigger family.
I know that they have everything they need to have a successful life that satisfies them, and I just know that the club members and staff really play a role in just helping know that what they want to do, what their interests are, their whatever grabs their attention is important, and that they encourage them to find and be themselves. That's huge.
What do you wish deeply for each of your children? Big question, but something that you hope that they're going to carry into the future. What do you deeply desire for your kids?
A sense of belonging and a commitment to taking care of themselves, knowing that they are worth the time and commitment to take care of. Because, I think children who are going through a lot can sometimes feel undervalued or misplaced, or maybe they don't feel a sense of belonging.
Sure.
But if a child knows that they do matter, they are loved, and they're important where they are, then I think that's probably the biggest thing that will set them up for success.
Amazing.
Because they will, if they know that they're valued and loved, then they'll make decisions that are good for them and healthy for them, because they'll want to take care of themselves more. Because they actually believe it, that that they're worth taking care of. A lot of kids don't. A lot of kids don't know that for a lot of different reasons. But that's what I hope my kids understand the most. And so when they get loving and acceptance from the staff at BGC, I know it helps foster that sense of value and belonging.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. We're all, on behalf of all of us at the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Central, we're grateful when parents, you making time for us today, for you to share a bit of your story, came from a place that you wanted to express that this was a great fit for your family.
It absolutely is, right? Yeah.
And that if there was a community partner out there today listening to your story, and they weren't involved with our clubs, they were considering looking to be engaged, a corporation, an individual who'd like to volunteer, support our movement, what would you say to them?
I would say their support has, you can measure when you focus on what can I spend my time on? I want to make changes. How can I invest my time to maximize the amount of change I can make? A lot of people choose to spend their time watching big picture politics. So there's only so much you can do about that, okay?
Right.
You can invest your time into that, and your range of impact can only go so far. But if you can invest your time in a resource in a community that has massive impact on young people's lives, I know for me, it's helped my children feel that sense of belonging and acceptance and value.
Thank God.
That is going to help them get set up for success and live lives where they're financially stable, independent, and thriving in hopefully careers that they are pursuing that have a great impact on the community around them. Successful entrepreneurs or businessmen or whatever. And then also too, the club here at Wayne Street, because they were able to work with me financially, I was able to keep my job. Because if I could not have afforded after school care for my children, my 4 children, I would not have been able to secure the job I have now, which keeps our family afloat.
Right.
So if you can measure the amount of positive change and impact you have directly on someone's lives, that's it. I'm able to keep a job. I'm able to keep a roof over our heads. I'm able to, because I had that after school care. Not only just after school care, but safe after school care. Quality after school care.
Yes.
Gives me peace of mind. I can focus on work because I know they're at BGC getting their homework done and they're given responsibilities. The other day I walked in and my boys were vacuuming and washing windows and, all things that foster good ethics for them.
Yes.
So that gives me peace of mind, which means I can focus on my job and career. After being a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, it's not like I'm set up for success in my building a career. I've got Miss Ground to make up for, starting from the bottom here. So that just helps us tremendously.
What a beautiful, just listening to you, the influence you have on, and you said your older children, I'm like 12 and under. Let's emphasize that. 5 kids, 12 and under. They're little people.
Older relative to my 4-year-old.
Yeah, but you're raising a family together. You're growing together and you're thriving and you're successfully navigating lives for multiple people. Thank you for trusting us and allowing us the opportunity to be a part of your family.
Well, thank you so much. We need that.
Yes.
We do. And
yes.
I'm not the only family out there who needs it.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Yes.
So.
There's a lot of families that don't know that we have the ability to, I was too prideful. I didn't know that you could go and say to even the Boys and Girls Club, I'm struggling. $100 this week, I don't have it. It still makes me emotional because, you just don't forget. And you remember how that you got to wear a face, you got to conduct yourself, and you don't want your children to feel or see the burdens. Right. And most of it, I speak for myself, is based on decisions we've made. And so then our children become a product of our environment. So again, you allow us an opportunity to create a safe environment and one that's encouraging greater, more successful, vibrant lives. Great citizens, great human beings. So,
and I know that's largely in part because of the sponsors of BGC too. I know that does tremendously help BGC do what they've been able to do for a family like mine. So if you ask why, if you should consider being a sponsor of BGC, like, I'm living and breathing right here with a roof over my head and my kids are cared for. So that, I can't overstate the impact.
Well, that is an incredible testimonial that it speaks to why we show up at work and realize that our jobs are much more than coming in and clocking out. So, and it's really kind of you to say, but at the same time, the fact that we know it's heartfelt and it's we're in it together. So, is there anything else that you think? I have some other questions, but I just feel like I could step aside because you could just tell a beautiful story, and we're just proud and grateful that you made time for us.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. So. I mean, as far as the story goes, I mean, obviously there was a lot that happened that caused the change from stay-at-home, full-time, home educating mom to single parent of 5. But, I think that's one of the things I really do value about BGC is because, like, Miss Vivian and Miss Linda, they know some, and I'm able to I don't ever feel like I have to mask up, at BGC. Because my story is very vulnerable. It's very vulnerable. There's a lot of, heavy things that went on to get to this place where, I'm working 8 to 5 and now I'm raising 5 kids 365, So the fact that BGC is a place where I'm able to just breathe and I walk in and I can talk to Miss Linda or anyone there and just be real with what's going on, with where we're at, and how we're navigating this is huge. That's
amazing.
It's a space of safety in a world that does not provide a lot of safety.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're just really proud of what you're doing for your family. We really are. And so I would say, is there anything you could think of that we could do better, that we could do more of? That any thought, you ever thought, this is your opportunity? I'd like to make a suggestion when it comes to programming. Your children, have they ever created feedback of ideas, things that you think that with the community support and as you said, the amazing partners that we have that are a part of our, or individuals, it's not always a partnership. It could be just one person who comes in and volunteers and works with the kids and sits and is a tutor and helping the children do homework. But is there anything that you could suggest, put a voice to today?
I don't think I've heard any of my kids say, I wish we could do this or that. But I will say, they seem to really enjoy being involved. Whenever they are involved in getting the chores done or running the BGC store, the club store, just any of that kind of hands-on involvement where they feel like they are able to help. It helps them feel valuable and useful, and it of course fosters more responsibility and attention spans. Anything that BGC can do along those lines, and I know they already do it because that's how I know is my kids share and I see it, but the focus on that is huge, I think, for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting them involved with the very hands-on helper mode, or putting them in little positions where they have my daughter ran the club store for a while, and so it put some responsibility on her, and she was having to keep track of things, and that's excellent. Like, it's good, so anything where BGC can just continue to provide those kinds of hands-on involved environments for the kids is great, because I know my kids have really enjoyed that.
Great. So we're closing our wonderful session of hearing a little bit of the inside story of Holly and your kids, and just really, again, your time, entrusting your family, your children with us, that we love that you're a part of our family. And so we pray that for every day that your kids are with us, that they know they are loved, appreciated, and we're there to support them to hopefully be a part of making their lives an even brighter future.
Oh,
so
thank you.
We're grateful for you.
We're grateful for you too. Absolutely.